Vive le français! Bonjour les amis, j'espère que vous allez bien. Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about the French culture, the money, and especially this video will be in English. If you want, you can watch the French video if you want to practice your French. Okay. Today I'm going to tell you about les impôts. Les impôts means the tax. Les impôts. So there are two types of tax, les impôts directs et les impôts indirects. Les impôts directs, they are the tax on your income. Les impôts directs. The tax on the income is not so high. It's not so high. A big percentage of the population don't pay any tax on their income. However, if you start to make a little bit income, then it's going to be on you and very hard. Okay, so the income tax can be high if you start to be making money. But if you are not making much money, you will not have any income tax. Okay. Donc les impôts directs, ce sont les impôts sur le revenu. So what happens is it's kind of complicated because you first work 1 year, you make money, and you need to keep in mind you should always save and keep a little bit money because the year after they are going to take the money that they, for example, is 2019, and then they will take the money from the tax for year 2018. So the income tax for year 2018. And it works, ça fonctionne par tranche. So you have, if you're making so much in 1 year, then you pay so much. If you're making so much, and then so much tax, then so much percentage. Okay. Then there is the indirect tax, les impôts indirects. These are very, very high, les impôts indirects. Okay, they are very high. You have all kind of tax. So the one that most people know is la TVA. La TVA is tax sur la valeur ajoutée. For instance, you buy a phone and then you pay the price of the phone, and on top of this you have to pay la TVA 20%. So when you buy this 100 euro, it will cost you 120 euro. And this you don't know because it's not like in the US. In the US, when you are in the USA, you go and pay, it's written 100 euros and you go and say 120, so you know there is 20 euros that go to the government. But here in France, you never know. It's just written 120, so you never know. What many people do in France, they buy online, they buy from Amazon, and they buy the product from Eastern Europe. Because if it comes from Eastern Europe, then they will not pay the TVA. The TVA will not be so high, okay? Because it's delivered from Eastern Europe, so they will just pay the tax from over there. So the product is going to be cheaper, okay? So that's why many people, they buy online. You have many other impôts indirects, indirect taxes. For instance, you have taxe d'habitation. So you're living inside a house. Each year you will pay taxe d'habitation because you're living there. Taxe foncière, which tax that you have to pay also if you are the owner of some house, you have to pay this tax. Taxe professionnelle. You have many tax. Okay. The TVA, you have the TVA that I told you about will be cheaper for the food. So for the food is only 5% for the food product, but for all the rest is 20%. The government will also put the tax, and maybe for some cultural things it will be cheaper. You have also the tax for the oil. The oil, you know, when you pay, you need to drive the car. The oil tax, the oil is very high. You know what happens is there is a saying, it's a trop d'impôt tue l'impôt. Too much tax kills the tax, and that's what happens. Kill the tax. That's what's happening in France. Many French people, they don't want to pay tax. So all the ones who are a little bit wealthy, even there was several scandals because you have les grands patrons. So they are these guys who pay billion. They make billion and billion. They are the wealthiest people in the world. And these guys, what they did, they left France. They would go and live in Switzerland. And I am now a Switzerland citizen. Even we have the famous musician or the famous actor, they left France. So many French people were a bit angry with this because they say, come on, France gives you everything. France gives you the knowledge, the education, the resource. And then what do? Even you make so much money, you go away to avoid the tax. So some people were a little bit shocked by this. Personally, I think it's really, for instance, Johnny Hallyday, who is dead a few years ago, last year. Johnny Hallyday, he left so that he doesn't have to pay the tax. He left France, you know. And to me, this was very shocking. You know, if you are making so much money, you should participate, especially when you are a singer. You are a singer, famous singer. It's the people made you, so give back to the people, give back to the government, you know, that's my way of thinking. Anyway, I agree that the taxes are very, 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 very high, and sometimes the government maybe doesn't use the tax very well, so I agree with this, so who knows, huh? It's a question of perception. Anyway, all the very rich people, they go either to Switzerland, either to Monaco. Some of them, they go to les îles Caïmans, you know, Cayman Islands, or they will go also to maybe Andorre. They will go to the small. And the one who are not as rich, they will go to Luxembourg or Belgium or United Kingdom. And even you have many young people like me. And they studied maybe 5 years, university degrees. They have a high degree. They have really some skills. And these guys, they will choose to work in the UK because they think, okay, in the UK I can save much more money. France is very nice, it's a very nice country, but if I stay in Paris, my cost of life will be really high, and then I will pay les impôts directs, I will pay the tax on my income, and then it will be too high. So, okay, you know. Also, what some French people do is they try to cheat the tax. So they don't say, they make money on the side. So you have many people, ils travaillent au noir, they work on the black market, so they're working on the side and they don't tell it. Or some people, they just don't say, they don't say to the fisc, they don't say to the tax that they don't say it, they don't say it, so they cheat the tax. Okay. Bon, à bientôt les amis, au revoir, take care.